Hello and welcome to Yoga with Ashlyn. This will be a 15-minute yoga flow intended to help you connect with the summer solstice, warm up your energy, and ground into your fiery self. Feel free to put on some background music. I will link a couple of my yoga playlists down below, or you can just enjoy the silence. Let's get started. We will begin seated on your mat, coming to easy pose. We can bring the hands to the knees, and we'll just take a couple of deep breaths. Maybe inhaling through the nose and letting it travel all the way down, filling up your low belly, and then maybe opening your mouth and sighing it out as you exhale for a few breaths. Maybe setting an intention for your practice, something that you'd like to carry with you throughout our movement. When you're ready, we'll start to invite some movement in. On that next inhale, we'll drop the shoulders and the head back and open up through the chest, lift the chin. And as you exhale, round everything in and back, coming to your cat pose. So inhale to reach those shoulders back, drop the head back, and exhale to shift back and in. Inhale to open up and stretch the front side of the body. And exhale to round and stretch the back side of the body. We'll take that a couple of more times, inhaling to reach forward, and then exhaling, reaching back. Again, inhale to reach forward, shift the gaze upwards, and exhale to reach everything back. One last time, inhale to reach forward, really open up through the chest, and then exhale to reach back. We're going to come back to that neutral seat here. Continuing to keep that movement flowing, we'll bring those hands down to the mat in front of us and start to shift the knees underneath the hips. The wrists stay underneath the shoulders, tabletop position. We're going to go ahead and move through a plank and side plank variation. So when you're ready, we'll step one set of toes back and then the other coming to our plank pose. Draw that navel to the spine, draw those shoulders down and back, find some strength here in this plank pose. And then when you're ready, we'll drop that right knee to the mat, swivel that leg out to the right foot swivels out, and then we'll come to ground down in the inner edge of that left foot, ground down through the toes, find an inhale, and we'll reach those left fingertips up and out. Beautiful. If you'd like a bigger stretch here, you can always bring those fingertips towards the top of your mat, shift the gaze upwards. This can help to create a lot of space here and a nice stretch in the side body. We'll find a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we'll cartwheel that hand down to the mat, swivel that right foot back into alignment, and then lift the knee, coming back to plank. So from here, we'll take it right to the left side, draw that left knee in, drop it to the mat, and swivel that left foot out, coming to ground down in the right inner edge of that foot. Ground down through the toes. We'll find an inhale and reach those right fingertips up and out. Again, if you took that deeper stretch on the left side, we'll take it here on the right side. Reach those fingertips up and overhead and find that space here in the right side of the body. We'll find a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we'll start to bring that right hand back down to the mat, swivel that left foot in, and lift it back up to plank. We'll take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, shift those hips up and back, downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the flow, we'll take a deep breath in, a full breath out. Maybe we pedal out through each knee, walking out our dog. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. Find some space in the backs of the legs. Eventually coming back to that neutral. So we're going to take it right into our warriors here. Inhale to reach that right leg up high and exhale to draw it in knee to nose. Again, inhale to reach up and back. And exhale, knee to nose. One last time, inhale to draw it up and back, and then exhale, knee to nose, and we're going to step it through. So first pose here is going to be our high lunge. Make sure that that right knee is over the right ankle. We stay grounded through those back left toes, and when you're ready, we'll find a big inhale in as we reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Pull that left hip in, draw the navel to the spine, deep breath in here. And as you exhale, we'll pivot on that back foot, open it up to warrior two. Find a gaze out over that middle finger, flip the palm, reach forward, up and back. Coming into that reverse warrior, reach into that front knee. Big stretch here, big breath in. And then when you're ready, we'll straighten through that front knee, Spread the arms out wide, and then we'll hinge at the hips and come forward into our triangle. Those left fingertips stay reaching here. Big breath in as you shift the gaze upwards. And then as you exhale, we'll cartwheel those hands to meet the mat. The hands come to either side of the foot. We come into our lunge, and then we'll step that right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Option to take a three-legged chaturanga here, so we'll move, shift forward, slowly lower the body down to the mat, and then maybe we flip the toes for cobra or upward-facing dog as you inhale, and then exhale, the hips move up and back, downward-facing dog. So we'll pause here, take a breath, maybe notice how that felt on the right side before we take it to the left. Big inhale in, full empty out. And then we'll ground down through that right foot, inhale to reach the left leg up high, and exhale, draw it in, knee to nose. Inhale, we reach up and back, and exhale, knee to nose. One last time, inhale to reach up and back. And then as you exhale, this time draw it in, knee to nose, and we'll step it through, come to that high lunge. So left knee over left ankle, grounded down through those right toes. And we'll find an inhale here to reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Pull that right hip forward, shift the gaze. Big inhale in. And as you exhale, we'll pivot on that back foot, open it up, warrior two. Strong warrior here. Take the gaze out over the middle finger. We'll flip the palm, reach forward, up and back. Find that reverse warrior. So again, draw into that front knee. Those left fingertips are reaching. Big breath in. And then we'll straighten that left knee. Open up the arms wide and come into our triangle pose. So those right fingertips are reaching. Shift the gaze upwards. Big stretch here. Big breath in. And as you exhale, we'll cartwheel those hands to meet the mat. Come into your lunge. Inhale to reach that left foot up and back. Again, option for that three-legged chaturanga. Shift forward, slowly lower the body down to the mat. Maybe we flip the toes and inhale up to cobra or upward facing. And then when you're ready, exhale, flip the toes, reach those hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take a brief pause here. Maybe notice how the left side felt, if it was any different than the right. And then we'll start to move towards the top of our mat. So we'll shift the gaze and we'll start to tiptoe our way. Take your time here coming up to the top of your mat, and we'll meet up here in a forward fold. From that forward fold, we'll inhale to slide those fingertips up the shins, halfway lift, flat back, flat spine, and then exhale to melt back forward. So we're going to come into a chair pose here. Generous bend in the knees, airplane the arms. Inhale, we'll reach up, and then exhale to sink it deeper. Tuck that tailbone in. We'll take a big breath in, and as you exhale, we'll bring those hands into heart center. We're going to go into a twist here. So deep breath in. As you exhale, the left elbow comes to the right knee. Maybe we open up the hands to the top of the room and the bottom, full expression here. Big breath in, and as you exhale, we'll bring those hands back to heart center. When you're ready, inhale to shift over towards the left. The right elbow comes to the left knee. If you took that full expression on the right side, we'll take it on the left side here. Big stretch, big inhale in. As you exhale, bring those hands through back to heart center. We'll come to center here, airplane the arms. Inhale to reach up and release from this chair pose. Hands come through heart center, back down to your forward fold. Beautiful. Continuing to warm up our energy here and tap into our fiery self, we're going to start to come over to our long side of the mat, and we're going to heel toe those feet out a bit more than hip distance apart, maybe keeping the toes pointing outwards just a little bit. We'll gravitate those fingertips towards the mat, draw the chin to the chest, and slowly roll up to standing. So we're going to take a couple of poses here. First pose being 5-pointed star. So when you're ready, inhale to reach those hands up, coming into a star shape. We'll shift that gaze upwards, find some space in the throat here. We'll take a deep breath in, really reaching with the hands, and then as you exhale, we'll bring those hands through to heart center and start to bend through the knees, coming into our goddess pose. We'll go ahead and bring those hands down to the knees. We'll take a little twist here. When you're ready, we'll take an inhale. As you exhale, the left shoulder dips down to center. Shift the gaze out towards the right, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, that right shoulder will dip. Take the gaze out over the left shoulder. We'll take that one more time. Inhale to center. Exhale, the left shoulder dips to center. And inhale to center. Last time here, the right shoulder dips to center. Shift the gaze out. So we'll come back to center. When you're ready, keeping those knees bent, we'll inhale to reach up. And then we're going to exhale to cactus. Draw that tongue down to the chin for lion's breath. So again, we'll inhale to reach up. And then exhale, taking your lion's breath. One more time, really tapping into that fire. Exhale. When you're ready, inhale, reach up, straighten the knees. And then we'll come into our standing wide-legged forward fold. Bringing a little extra awareness on your mat here for the last few minutes, maybe noticing what you're needing here for the rest of this flow. If this feels good, you can keep those palms planted down on the mat or the fingertips reaching towards the mat. If you're needing some extra opening in the chest and the shoulders, we can go ahead and clasp those hands behind us and start to allow them to drop towards the bottom of the mat. We'll take a couple breaths here, generous bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, if you clasp those hands behind the back, we can go ahead and drop the fingertips or the palms back down towards the mat. We'll take a deep breath in, a full breath out. Then when you're ready, we'll start to walk those fingertips back towards the top of your mat. Pivot on that back foot, almost like we're coming into a bit of a pyramid pose here. When you're ready, we'll take our time here, stepping those right toes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. And as you exhale, we can come up on the toes, shift forward, drop the knees to tabletop. Then we're going to swing the legs out to one side, come through a seat, and move onto our backs. Again, take your time here, reset as you need to. We're going to keep those soles of the feet planted on the mat so we can take windshield wiper here with the knees. So bringing the knees, dropping them to one side of the mat, and then the other, releasing any tension or tightness in the low back or the hips. We'll take that a couple more times on each side. Eventually coming back to center, we're going to take our last pose here, which is reclined butterfly. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, the knees drop to either side of the mat. Maybe we bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Or if you're needing some opening in the chest here, we can bring those arms up to cactus or goalpost. We created a lot of fire today in our body, on our mat. So noticing maybe what's coming up for you emotionally, mentally, or physically. When we create that fire, we can burn up what is no longer serving us. So maybe inhaling and gathering up all of that stuff that no longer serves you and exhaling to let it out. We'll take a couple more breaths. When you're ready, we'll start to close those knees back together. And we'll gently start to roll off to your favorite side. We'll pause here for a moment. Take a couple deep breaths. Maybe thank yourself for showing up here on your mat today. You can stay here as long as you'd like, but if you'd like to end this practice with me, you can push up and off of your side and come over into a comfortable seat. We'll bring those hands to the knees, coming to easy pose. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. We'll bring those hands to heart center. I encourage you to take this fiery, confident energy with you off of the mat and move through this life with awareness and intention. You deserve it. Make sure to subscribe and come back over to my channel next time you are needing some mindful movement. I upload different flows a few times a month and would love to connect again soon. Sending gratitude and good vibes. See you next time.